Hill and Gully rider,
Hill and Gully,
Hill and Gully rider,
Hill and Gully,
take a horse and coming down,
Hill and Gully,
Baba horse done stumble down,
Hill and Gully.
I decided to write Chigger Boys because I knew that they were going to mark the anniversary of the First World War. And I wanted the story of African and Caribbean soldiers to be told. Partly because I, within my own family, knew of people who had fought in the war. Also because I want British history to reflect all the aspects of British history, not just one sort of mainstream narrative. I actually went to Jamaica and went to the military archive there, to the National Library, found all sorts of information, including a typed up list of all the names of men who had died in the war. It was very, very moving. And then realized that there were three ways that men got to war. One is professional soldiers, one is volunteers, and then sometimes being co-opted. And using those three routes, I tried to construct a play. When I finally collided the figures in a rum bar in downtown Kingston, and so that we could find out who they were before they went to the war, that's where the writing of the play began. So that's essentially what the core of the play is. There's a rum bar run by a woman who is having to run the business as her only way of making a living, and there are these four men who come in, and we flash forward to their lives during and just after the war.
Hill and Gully, Hill and Gully, Hill and Gully.
One of these days, your sergeant's going to catch you.
Hill and Gully.
I have known the play now for a few years, and I liked it from the very first moment I'd read it. I think it tells the story that I certainly hadn't been aware of, and I know many, many people who were born in Britain hadn't been aware of. And I think that I immediately felt the importance and the validity of giving voice and giving life to this story. We found an amazing cast of actors. They've been committed, open, imaginative, responsive. They really relate to the play and they believe in it. From the moment they walked into the rehearsal room on day one, from the moment they came to auditions, they brought such conviction and passion for the material. It's been a very enriching experience.
A little more oil in my lamp, keep it burning. A little more oil in my lamp, I pray. A little more oil in my lamp, keep it burning. Keep it burning till the break of day. A little more oil in my lamp, keep it burning.
But basically, I like exploring relationships, so that's what the core of the play is about. Relationships between the professional soldier and the woman who runs the bar. The two brothers, one of whom dies in the war, and then the young man who volunteers to go to the war. It's been an amazing process for me to watch the play go from just the text, and we did a reading of the text and that worked quite well, to being fully fleshed out. And that's partly because the director worked very, very hard to create very rounded characters. Because she's Russian and this is a Jamaican play, she looked for the humanity in the characters and she found that very, very well. But then we had an amazing creative team so that sound and music was used an awful lot. The lights I thought were very, very effective, and the costuming was really great. We were very lucky to get the costuming that we did. So I think all in all, I'm very, very pleased with what happened, but it's not for me to say, it's for the audiences to say. So we'll see what they have to say about it. But I wanted a statement about the black men who fought in World War I, and that's what the play is. That's what the statement of the play is.
Very interested in bringing home the whole thing of war in the world and what was happening in the Caribbean and what was happening in Europe. The music, the songs, it brings back memories really of Jamaican heritage itself.
So it's a great way to tell a history that hasn't been told. I think it tells the story of people who haven't been recognised their parts that they played.
I thought it was good. I thought the acting was very good. I thought the whole the history behind it and the story behind it was very good, very good.
But I think all the characters was pretty good. They're witty in part, also can be serious as well. But I think it portrayed what was happening in that era quite well. So I think most of the characters, and the lady customers obviously, she probably was probably the best one. Your typical Jamaican woman. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the play. It was a present, a surprise, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't really want it to end.
I got recommended to come by a friend, So someone who knew that I was kind of interested in this period of history messaged me on Facebook, and he's a playwright himself, so he'd come to see it and he told me, oh, you have to see this, like, you'll really enjoy it. And so that's how I found it, and I brought my family along. So. It really tugged at my heartstrings because I thought, oh, this is terrible, because I could kind of feel the emotion that's coming out, so really brilliant acting on that part.
Thought it was all good, like it was all really believable and like took you away to the exotic Jamaican climate.
Yeah, the great use of lighting and the subtlety between the characters and the like intricate storylines that entwine is really interesting. So yeah, really enjoyable.
Yeah.
A great show, really good show.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. It was a great performance by all the actors. I especially liked the quick change of scenes with the book and how dramatically they did it, because I think in such a small space it works really well with the quick change of scenes, and I really liked especially the young guy who played the country boy. He was very good, but extremely good performance, very good.
I found it very authentic. I felt I was really moving back into that time, or the times of the First World War. I was interested in the structure. I thought that was effective. I liked very much the movement, music, dance, that sort of added to it. Added to the whole atmosphere of the play. I think it's a very good play to remind everybody about the importance of the black presence in the First World War and how the lack of equality was represented in the war, even though the men were doing the same job, so to speak. So from that point of view, I thought it was really interesting.
Till the